You wake up before sunrise. The room is cold. The stone walls hold onto the night's chill, and the sound of waves crashing against the rocks below echoes through the tower. This lighthouse is your home and your prison. You sit up in your narrow bed and light an oil lamp. Outside the small window, the sea is nothing but darkness. There are no neighbors, no streets, no town, just you. A tower of stone and miles of open ocean. You pull on your heavy coat and begin another day. Your first task is always the same. Check the light. You climb the winding staircase, step after step after step. By the time you reach the lantern room at the top, your legs already ache. The great lens stands before you. Every sailor who passes this coast depends on it. If the light fails, ships can crash into the rocks below. People can die, and it would be your fault. You inspect the lamp carefully. The flame burns steadily. Good. You clean soot from the glass. Polish the brass. Check the oil supply. The work is repetitive, but mistakes are expensive. You learned that long ago. As the sun rises, the fog begins to lift from the sea. For a brief moment, the world seems peaceful. The waves sparkle, seagulls circle overhead, and the lighthouse no longer feels so lonely, but the feeling never lasts. By noon, the silence returns. You eat lunch alone, bread, cheese, a cup of tea. You sit at a wooden table with only the sound of the wind for company. Weeks can pass without a visitor. Sometimes you wonder how many days you've gone without hearing another human voice. You stopped counting years ago. In the afternoon, you inspect the tower again. Every stair, every window, every hinge. Salt water destroys everything. Metal rusts, wood rots, paint peels. The ocean never stops trying to reclaim the lighthouse, and you never stop fighting back. As evening approaches, the sky begins to change. Dark clouds gather on the horizon. You notice them immediately. Experience has taught you to respect the sea. The sea gives warnings. You only need to know how to listen. Tonight, something feels different. The air is heavier, the wind sharper. The gulls disappear earlier than usual. Even the ocean seems uneasy. You climb the tower again, and again, and again, checking the lamp, checking the oil, checking everything. A storm is coming. By sunset, the first drops of rain strike the glass. The wind whistles through cracks in the stone. Far away, lightning flashes across the horizon. You watch from the lantern room. The storm is growing, and it's heading straight toward you. Hours pass. The rain becomes heavier. The wind becomes stronger. The waves become enormous. Each crash against the rocks below sends vibrations through the tower. The lighthouse groans like an old ship. You have lived here long enough to recognize every sound. Tonight, there are sounds you've never heard before. Midnight arrives. The storm is now at its peak. Rain slams against the windows. The wind screams around the tower. The sea below is completely invisible. Only flashes of lightning reveal the chaos outside. Then something happens. The lamp flickers. Once, twice. Your stomach tightens. The light cannot fail. Not tonight. You rush to inspect the mechanism. The wind has found its way inside. The flame struggles against sudden drafts. You shield it with your body, carefully adjusting the controls. For a moment, the flame steadies. Then another violent gust shakes the tower. The light flickers again. You know what's at stake. Somewhere beyond the darkness, ships may be searching for this lighthouse. Searching for you. Searching for the only safe path through these deadly waters. You cannot let them down. You descend the stairs, fetch more oil, climb back up, The staircase feels endless. Your knees ache, your hands shake, but you keep moving because stopping is not an option. At 2 in the morning, lightning illuminates the ocean, and that's when you see it. A ship, far away, barely visible through the rain. For a second, you think your eyes are playing tricks on you. Then lightning strikes again. The ship is real, and it's heading directly toward the rocks. Your heart pounds. The crew probably cannot see the danger. Not in this weather. Not in this darkness. The lighthouse is their only chance. You look at the lamp, still flickering, still struggling. The timing could not be worse. You work desperately, adjusting the wick, adding oil, protecting the flame from every draft. The storm fights you every second. The tower shakes, glass rattles, water leaks through tiny cracks, but you refuse to give up. Minutes feel like hours. The ship grows closer. The rocks grow nearer. You imagine the sailors aboard, cold, exhausted, terrified, depending on a light they cannot even see clearly, depending on a man whose name they will never know. The lamp suddenly dims. Your breath catches. Not now. Not now. You make one final adjustment. The flame surges brighter. The lens catches the light. A brilliant beam cuts through the storm, across the sea, across the darkness, across the rain. The ship changes course, slowly, then more sharply, turning away from the rocks, turning toward safety. You watch in silence. The danger passes. The vessel disappears into the storm once again. But this time, it is moving away from the cliffs, away from disaster. You sink into a chair, exhausted. The storm continues for hours, but the worst has passed. Eventually, the rain weakens, the wind fades, the sea begins to calm, and at last, dawn arrives. The first sunlight breaks through the clouds. Golden rays spread across the ocean. The storm is gone. The lighthouse still stands. And so do you. You look out over the water. There is no sign of the ship. No message. No thank you. No applause. The sailors will return home. They will see their families. They will tell stories about surviving a terrible storm. Most of them will never know your name. Most of them will never know you were awake all night fighting to keep the light alive. But that's the life of a lighthouse keeper. If you do your job perfectly, nobody notices. And that's exactly how it should be.